Alrighty, Steeler Nation. Welcome back to Steeler Nation Australia. Got my good mate here, the Arsenal DB, DeWaylen. What's going on, mate? How are you?
What's up? What's up? I'm feeling real good.
Hey, you keen? We going Super Bowl? What?
I don't know about that yet, but I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
I'm already there, man. I'm pretty hyped up. I did promise you this, and we'll play some music. This is my, I got the winning music. You ever watch those old like 80s movies or 90s movies where they run through the guys like suffered for a really hard time and then he wins the gold medal?
Yeah.
You remember those kind of soundtracks? I've got this in the background. Listen to this. So this is called Champions Day.
A slow motion run.
This is for This music is like for Trubisky. When Trubisky is actually winning games and throwing the ball, it's like, Trubisky, we need you in the third quarter, and he's like stands there like a stone, doesn't move, Nah, it's good, man. It's a good feeling. It's a good feeling. But I play that every time at the end of the stream. So, okay, we'll start the show. We'll start the show though. Like, what's your first instant reaction to the whole game? What do you reckon?
I love the team confidence. The confidence that they have a different aura around the team. Last year we was kind of hyping ourselves up for failure a little bit. We was like, oh, we can do it maybe, but we wasn't ready. But this year the team just feel more confident. They more comfortable actually too as well, and they just have a different swagger about the team. It's just different.
Something does feel different. I think because they brought in a lot of guys who are physical, and shout out to Omar Khan, Andy White, all those guys in the room, right? And even Coach Tomlin and Coach Canada. No one said fire Canada yet, which is fantastic. So shout out to everyone like that. I think this team is, and we need to, once we see it transition onto the field, that is week 1, week 2 in the real games. But overall, man, the game was fun to watch today. Another instant reaction. What is your instant reaction of Kenny Pickett with the another good drive and then the TD to Muth?
He's looking very good. Very good. Silencing all the noise of the people in the media saying that he's going to be a bust and be this or that. I don't know why they do quarterbacks like that. I've seen people saying Bryce Young a bust. He never even played the game yet. I don't know why they do quarterbacks like that. That's the hardest position to play, and he's very young coming in the game. Take time, and he's showing us that he can develop and just be patient. And last week he looked good. This week he looked good, and hopefully he can continue it throughout the season.
They keep doing this whole idea with the ceiling. I never understood. They said, "Well, Kenny Pickett's ceiling is this." You don't know what his ceiling is, right? You have no idea. For all what you think, he's outside, camping in a tent with a great look at the universe, man. There's no ceiling. I don't understand this ceiling. I don't get this because I hate being told what to do. I hate to say you're limited to this. There is no ceiling for Kenny Pickett. There is watch him play and watch him get better. He got better this game too.
Yep.
He found Pickens to the outside, great pass, made a move, first down. He found Robinson. He rolled out to the right hand side, found him too. He then found, after the CA3 return, the punt return, he found Muth down the middle.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, what more do you want?
Last week they were saying, oh, it's against the backups. But this week, it's the starters. So there's no more excuses now. He did that. He made those throws against starters. So
he made Josh Allen look like Sam Darnold. Saying goes. Come on, man. There's so much hype around Josh Allen, who's meant to be a Super Bowl contender every year, and he's never won one. And the Bills have never won one. And there's all this hype around. Look, the Chiefs, I think, have it. The Chiefs are hype around for sure.
Oh, yeah.
The Bengals have it, but there's hype around Justin Herbert. He's an elite. They keep talking about elite quarterbacks.
Yeah, I don't see them elite. I see the only elite quarterbacks in the league, in my opinion, is Mahomes and Burrow. But everybody else is almost there, but they're not there yet.
Burrow, you kicked off. Block him, Pepper. Now Burrow's good. He's good. I see.
Yeah, I got Burrow and Mahomes as the elite. Everybody else is almost there. I need to see more.
He fails in the playoffs a lot of times. He fails and throws picks, and they talk about Trevor Lawrence being the next big thing as well. And they just keep giving. It's like they missed. It's like they forgot that Kenny Pickett was a first round pick. Number 20. They forgot, and now they're all focusing on the new 3 guys, and they're going to be the best. The rookie quarterbacks, the Strouds and whoever they are, right? I just don't get it. So Kenny Pickett, if he can, because also Pickett versus Purdy, they're going to go Purdy train too. They're going to say, well, Purdy's better, yada, yada,
yada. Yeah, because of last year's success. But if you pick Kenny Pickett in the same situation, with the 49ers team they had last year. He might do the same stuff, the same thing.
They had a really good offense. They had Debo, they had Brandon Ayuk, they had George Kittle. Great offense, right? So
they're like 5 All-Pros on the team.
Mm-hmm. So same thing. So Gavin says here, I don't understand why Kenny's ceiling was so low. Athletic, good leader, accurate. Doesn't have a cannon, but neither does Burrow. The thing is too, like I actually saw on Kenny Pickett's Instagram, and he was doing he was such a good guy that he's promoting local business. He's working with a local mattress company. Out of all things, he's working with a local mattress company to sell them stuff. The guy is just doing things right.
Yeah,
he's just cracking beers, going out. He's working hard. He's throwing the football. He's doing things enough right to say, you know what, we can buy what Kenny Pickett is selling. He's not being too egotistical. He's not being too full of himself. He's going out there and getting the job done. And then the media will be like, the media is now like, oh, Kenny's pretty good. We told you this last year.
They just look at the numbers. They go on the website like, he threw 7 touchdowns and he had 9 picks. But if you watch the games, you see a different story. You'd be like, oh, most of those picks came in. Basically, 3 of those picks came in the first game, which was like tip-up balls and a Hail Mary throw that didn't count.
Claypool gave him one. Claypool was like, hey, bro, here's the football. Do you want this? This is yours. Claypool was like, I can't catch.
That man's 6'4", going against a 5'9" safety and just get body. I'm like, I don't know how he did that.
It was like he was playing quarterback and he handed the football off to him. That's what he did to it. So, yeah, man. We got one in from Sarah and says, I love Frymouth, and she's a Colts fan, but her dad is a Steelers fan since Bradshaw days. So shout out to your dad, Sarah, too, and shout out to your Colts as well. Now Sarah has the Anthony Richardson. I'm not saying that he's going to be a bad guy, but they seem to do this. The NFL media just seems to say that this guy sucks or his ceiling is so low. When I don't understand, Len, you've got to wait, I think, 3 or 4 years. You got to wait a few years.
He has a lot of talent, too. He has a strong arm. He has athleticism. He reminds me of a Josh Allen and Cam Newton type guy. If you give him the right system, he's gonna be nice.
But that's the same thing they do with Kenny Pickett. Is like they're just labeling these names, and then you have to, I guess, prove yourself out of that. But we've seen that since last year. When we saw Pickett to Pickens versus the Raiders and won the game for Franco Harris, and they also had the Franco Harris tribute. I don't know if you saw that, but I need to catch the video for that. Had the tribute for his jersey, and they won this game too. And it does mean a lot. And if you're going down the field with Kenny Pickett, pretty much 3 drives, 3 TDs.
Yep.
I say again, what more do you want?
Yeah, that's perfection right there.
In preseason, what more do you want, right? So I don't know, man. Who was one of your outstanding players that you saw on offense? Maybe the first team guys or whoever.
See, on offense. See, today, of course, Kenny Pickett, of course. But I like what I saw. Pat Frymouth only caught 1 ball. It was nice play right there. And also Jalen Warren, the big run. He has second gear speed, and he shows something different every game. He shows something new. He's very elusive, very fast paced, and can get down the field, can catch as well. So if they kind of balance that out with him and Najee and run a little 1-2 punch, keep both guys fresh for the long run, it's gonna be special.
Do you think the media is going to turn this around and say Warren needs to be number 1? Because I do.
The fans did it last year, so they might do it. They probably will do it.
They're gonna move on Najee so fast. They're gonna try and trade Najee next week. I tell you, they will. They saw 4 snaps of him, and they're gonna say, you know what, we need to trade Najee away, and Warren needs to be number 1. And then what happens? What happens then when Warren struggles? We need to trade Warren away, and McFarland needs to be number 1.
Because Warren is good, but I don't see him the same as Najee. Because Najee can be an all-down back. He can be on the field nonstop the full game and just take all the punishment. But Warren, he can be a splash playmaker here and there.
Did you see that in the first run Najee did? He had about 3 or 4 guys in him. He was still churning away to get 3 yards.
Yep.
What he does. That's the way how he runs. So I think they will still. Yes, exactly right. Najee's number 1. I agree. And you don't need to the coaches will label them 1 and 2, but they have a certain plan for him in the game too. Start with Najee, then work your way with Warren. But I think as fans, we say, Najee has to be number 1. It's well, he is technically, but it doesn't matter. I don't know. The media is going to jump on this one for sure. They'll say because he got bigger yards and the same offense, that kind of stuff. But we want to see both backs be successful. I think, but we're gonna until we see Najee Harris will probably go off in the 49ers game. He'll probably get 150 yards. And then Warren will
now,
get
now he actually has an
TDs.
O-line, the block. He actually had an O-line. Last year he had one, or the year before that.
Isaac Siamalo playing too. He was playing well.
Yeah.
He was playing real well. What else happened on
offense? Don't mention Kendrick Green. Don't mention Kendrick Green.
Where's
I don't know what he was doing.
Hang on a minute.
I try to give him a chance every time, but Kendrick Green just.
We can reenact Kendrick Green right now. By the way, this is gonna go over my head now. This is the way it is. This thing stuffs up so much, it goes over my head. Hang on, mate. So wait a minute. Okay, good TV. It's great TV. Now I'm stuck. Hang on. Okay. I'm there. So what do you mean? You mean this guy? Is that guy?
Like he even turn around and say, "Oh, hey, you ready? You got it. You got to set." He was still calling the play. He just threw the ball. Pass him.
He's like, if I snap it, and I just hope that Rudolph knows when it's coming. Is that I don't know. Dude.
Man, I don't know what's wrong with him.
I don't know either.
He shouldn't be playing center in the first place. He'd be like a guard or something.
You know what's so crazy now? Like I did a video the other day. I said he was villain to hero and back to villain in like 3 days. Do you know what I mean? Like he had the fullback stuff cracking, and then we're like, okay, here we go, fullback. Everyone's buying into that. We're like, yeah, man, 300-pound guy, going to be a fullback. Can't wait to see it. And back to villain. Everyone hates him. How does that work? I don't understand how that works, man. Oh man. JJ52 says cut KJ. Yes.
Yeah. They might have to go ahead and get rid of him.
Was there anyone else that you thought that didn't play as well that should have played in this game?
Let's see. Like some of the running backs, like McFarland and stuff. Like besides that big run we had, the rushing attack wasn't really like dominant. Mm-hmm. Like that big run might inflate the numbers a little bit, but over like the other backs, they really didn't get that much yardage. And we see a lot of stuffs. We see a lot of negative yards from McFarland, from Xavier. The other guy, I forgot his name. He had a crazy name.
Greg Bill, I think it. Or Xavier,
yeah, Bill was one of them. It was like somebody else. Yeah, Hagen. Like, they had a lot of, like they kind of got a little more traction in the fourth quarter, a little bit, but most of the running backs was like kind of getting stuffed at the line.
Yeah. They also tried to get a TD. It took them about 9 times to get a TD for the Matt Canada
goal line,
which was really difficult to watch. I was like, can we just get an I formation, please, and just like run someone?
I was hoping Darnell Washington got that fade ball. The PI on him.
Just something. They got 2 free calls. Like the penalties came in, and I was like, just run the ball, please. But then Trubisky made a good play to Gunnar Olszewski, right? So he made a good play. And those are the things like where the coaching staff would be like, well, Trubisky did make a good call and then got the backup job. So do you think there's a bit of a controversy at backup quarterback or not? Or what the Steelers will do?
Not for me. I'd be like, hey, Kenny is first, Mason second, Trubisky third.
Yeah, but what do you think the Steelers are going to do, though?
They probably won't have Trubisky second because of the contract.
Yeah. Well, they pay him like $10 million over 3 years?
I think so, yeah. They probably say it might have guaranteed a second spot in the contract. You never know.
Doesn't he have incentives too? Like if he does certain amount of TDs and stuff like that, or something, or doesn't?
I think so. But I think most of it is incentive based. So if he like comes in, hopefully Kenny doesn't get hurt. I mean, I don't have any wood. Oh,
you know what they should do? They should do Trubisky's contract. They should be like, every time he gets sacked, you lose $1 million. And that's the only way to motivate someone like that.
You're gonna see like 5 and 6 groundings.
You would see him floating. Yeah, you would see him floating in the air, like floating around. Like he would be running for his life. All right. So I don't know, man. I know I'm all over the shop. We're all over the shop too. But like, I'm just super hyped about this team. I think there's something different. I think they're hitting harder. What were your thoughts on like Nick Herbig too?
Oh, Herbig was a beast. Man. Last week, 2 sacks. And then this week, the pressures he got, I think he had a strip sack, of course, but the pressures he got, the way he like caused the quarterback to get flustered in different situations, he was very good. And the rushing attack as well, he got back in the backfield. He's gonna be nice. He's like a mini TJ Watt, a little quicker, and just going out there and just making plays all over the field.
That's that first move he did was kind of cool. He kind of like went in for like a bull rush, I think it was, and then kind of like
Yeah,
pushed him and went to the side and then went right around and then got
yeah,
the sack.
that was nice.
Um, yeah, I think. Oh, of course, too. What do we think about JPJ?
Well, JPJ looked nice. He
Mm,
start like they attacked him early on when they first seen him in the game. Like he was nervous. Like you see Josh Allen threw the ball to Diggs a few times, trying to like attack him, but he stayed poised and calm, and he was patient. Just like in Penn State, he didn't have a lot of interceptions because they didn't throw his side a lot, and he was very patient when the ball was thrown over there. He had a lot of pass breakups, had a few interceptions, but then this time to go out there and get that pick to give us some more points on the board before the halftime was nice.
you think Joey Porter sells that ball or he keeps it?
Sell his own son ball. Hey, if he actually could sell it and get another ball just like it. Like you never know. Just like on the internet.
The same serial number of the football for the game. He sells that and then tells Joey Porter Jr. I kept it, mate. Or what if like Joey Porter Jr. goes over for dinner like in 3 weeks' time? He's like, have you seen my ball, Dad? Or like 5 years later, my first one. He's like, yeah, sure, son.
It's in the case right there. Don't touch it because I don't want to get dirty or anything.
It's a whole different ball. It's got the Buccaneers logo on it instead of the Steelers. I thought that was really cool, man. I thought it was cool to see JPJ get it to his father. And like you and I started watching games when we saw Joey Porter. I was like, man, we saw that guy used to play. Like they shot him in Denver. You know what I mean? And here he is, and the Bill Cowher days, and that kind of stuff, and the amp up, and now he's getting the football from his son. And I think it was a really good moment, and the whole team, like they rallied around him too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're like so fired up. Another big play too was Shannon Sullivan. Did you see that play as well? The pick?
That's number 37, right?
Yeah. 34.
34, yeah. The one that ran.
He ran
blitz.
down. Yeah. You see that one? Oh man.
Yeah, I saw that. That was nice.
Insane.
Ran off the blitz. He has some crazy arm length. He jumped up and swatted it and got it to himself.
He swatted it and he still had enough time to figure out where the ball was, track it, and then go down to to the field with it. All right, I want to go through some stats too. Just want to get your reaction to these too. Let's go through some stats and like just the box score stuff because we had. Okay, we'll start with Kenny Pickett was 3 for 4, 43, 1 TD was fantastic. Trubisky was 10 for 13, 78, but he checks the ball down a lot, 1 TD, which took him about 8 times to get. Mason Rudolph was 5 for 7, 52. So overall, is that a success for the quarterbacks there? Did you want to see anything else besides that?
I think it's a success because your starting quarterback is already determined. But you want to make sure your secondary guys are capable of stepping in if they have to. I think Mason Rudolph showed that, and Trubisky, he have his moments sometimes. Yeah, I feel like he'd give up too early. Like he'll see and like, nope, check down instead of like just wait. Sometimes you can wait. Like you can wait a little bit and let plays develop. I guess he's scared of the pressure that comes in.
Maybe he's got a bit of an ego because I feel like he's got an open receiver here. He's like, you know what? I've got to open one, but I want to show the world I can do this. And he'll choose like 5 defenders over here. And he'll throw a football into 5 defenders and like, you know what? I got that. You see that?
So he always thrown off the back foot. Like he never step into the throw. It's always like falling away.
Yeah, and I see him like throw into. I know Rudolph had a few passes too. I'm not going to say Rudolph was the best either, but Rudolph had a few passes where it could have been picked off 2 or 3 times because. And I'm so glad we have Kenny Pickett, bro, because I think he's just growing into his role. But I feel like Trubisky sometimes is like, oh, I didn't read through my routes or whatever. I'm not comfortable. He'll see Oshesky covered by 2 players. Yeah, this will do, and just have it and see what happens. So I think like if you were to give him a grade, what would you give like Trubisky and Rudolph? I'd probably give him a B or C.
Yeah, I give Rudolph probably a B minus and Trubisky a C minus.
Yeah, it just is like the average guy, right? It's the average quarterback, really.
Yeah, you got to come back for tutoring.
Right? But he's been playing for 10 years. He's been playing forever. All right, let's go look into the stats with the rushing. Oh my goodness, we had how many rushes? We had 1 million rushes. Let's focus on Rudolph and Trubisky had a run, but Rudolph was faster. Najee Harris, we had. Can we even talk about Najee Harris? He had 2 carries. Does that even?
He only. I guess he just played to keep the legs warm.
Yeah. Like, can we even critique that? Not really.
Not really. That's not big like sample size.
Do you know what? Their only big run really was Jalen Warren was 62 yarder, and the rest were just like average runs of 3.5. 3.5 runs. So
he's getting stuff and like a lot of negative runs as well.
yeah. What about I've been talking about the last few weeks. Oh my goodness, I got an ad coming up. Scared the hell out of me. What about Gunnar Olszewski? You think Gunnar Olszewski can make the team? He got 5 catches for 41 yards and 7 targets.
They keep using them like they're using them, probably because they're using them in different like spots. You're getting handoffs, you're getting like some of the short yardage things, and doing a lot of motion as well. They're using a lot of motion. So he probably make the team most likely. I don't know if he's gonna be like a dynamic force on the team, kind of like Steven Sims last year, but I don't know if he had that same like speed that he has, but he might can be like used in that situation a little bit.
Do you know why? The reason why I think he makes a team is because I think he'll be a backup returner. I think he's backup returner, and I think he's going to be the 5th receiver. That's what I think he's going to be. So,
Kevin Austin, hey, that run was nice. That punt return. Yeah, one more block.
Everything happened though. Like they had that. They defended Josh Allen's weak offense, right? They got the 3 and out, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then they got the kickoff return, went down the field. I think we also got a short field on some other fumbles and interceptions, stuff like that. But everything was moving that direction. But I think Gunnar will make the team because he does run hard. I know he's not the most flashiest guy out there, but I think he will in that sense because he's getting a lot of targets. He's getting used into the offense. And when you see guys used more in the offense with different snaps, I get a feeling that he has a chance to win. The other guy might be Cody White trying to steal his spot. I think as well, Miles Boykin, he made a tackle on teams. He always seems to be the gunner that runs down to the opposition, right? So you might have Gunner and Boykin playing, but that's like, but to me anyway, I don't know what you think, but like, if say if Gunner and Miles Boykin makes team, do you think they're even going to target him?
I think Gunner might get some targets. Like they might give him some touches here and there, but Boykin, he has a size. He's like 6'5", but he just don't know how to make the plays like in the air.
Because we didn't even see Hakeem Butler at all today. Nothing.
We saw him last week a little bit, but
yeah, I don't think he was maybe near the end. I couldn't tell near the end. I was too focused on trying to go to the toilet, to be honest. Near the end, I was trying to hang
I think he's number 21, so I don't think he got in. I don't think so.
Nah, I don't think he was in. So actually, next week though, I think next week we're going to see a lot of these players. I'm not even sure if Kenny Pickett will play, but what else will some like takeaways on offense you think besides us winning the Super Bowl?
I like the play action a lot.
Yeah,
the play action. Okay. Matt Canada is finally opening the playbook up a little bit. He last year he was just on the first page. Like he had 30 more pages. He was like, oh, we got a full book. So he finally opened it up a little bit. The play action is nice because especially when you have a guy like Kenny Pickett who can use his legs, and the running game start working as well, they're gonna open up so much more.
He's been playing that new Madden 24. That's what he's been playing. All right, let's look into some other guys then. We had on I think Pat Frymouth was fantastic. That one catch was huge.
Yeah.
Connor Hayward, what are your thoughts on Connor Hayward today?
Oh, he caught a touchdown. Yeah, he caught a touchdown in the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, he saved him. That was like 13 plays in, and he saved him.
Yeah, that was a nice little design right there. But Connor, he should get a lot of looks. They might line him up as a wideout a few times. I think so because I know they don't have, of course, mostly they're doing like those big personnel, 12 personnel to like block for rushing attack. They're gonna have Darnell Washington out there and Zach Gentry most of the time. But I think Pat Frymouth and Connor Hayward can get some things as well, some packages together and do some create some mismatches.
I think the other bloke, I think wasn't Keanu Benton was injured, wasn't he? I'm pretty sure he was injured. He wasn't in the game.
I see him last week, but I didn't see him this week.
No.
He might have been out.
You know what? Half the game is trying to really figure out, because you're doing the streaming too, is before the play snaps, you try and turn your head to try and figure out who's on the field. You know what I mean? By the time the play's over. Shout out to oh my goodness, I can't bring that up. It's terrible. Change your name, Hugh. It's a terrible name. Anyways, let's go to the defense. Yeah, I ain't bringing that up. You almost got me to say it, but no, stop. I'm smarter than the average bear. All right. So Rudolph had the fumble too. That was the snap. On defense. What about did you see? I thought Elijah Riley played his way into the game too. I think he's gonna play.
He probably found himself a spot.
Yeah.
And maybe Tanner Muse as well. He looked solid. He looked all right.
Okay, but where does he fit in? Is he going to play like a backup safety guy on teams, or does he play middle linebacker? Like where does he play?
Because he has quickness. He has quickness, and he was solid in coverage. He made a few plays. I'll probably say backup middle linebacker, most likely.
So then we're going to have, so if you have middle linebacker, you've got Atlanta Roberts, you have
Mark Robinson too. Yeah.
Mark Robinson, he looks fantastic, by the way. I know he's still working his craft, but the way he tackles people, it does remind me of Debo a bit. Like this is just a form. Even Bob Pompiani said form tackling, man. Form tackling. It's the way he's like, bam. You know,
you just break down, scoop like a spear.
It's like edge, bro. I know you're getting the rest. Have you started your wrestling yet?
Well, I haven't started yet.
When do you start? Because we're gonna follow this. You're gonna be a superstar.
I'll probably start within a few months. I went to the doctor yesterday. I was getting checked up and checked out. But I'll probably start maybe around October, November-ish, around that time.
Yeah, right. Have you been watching the series Heels? You've been watching that?
Oh, I haven't seen it yet. That's the one with Stephen Amell, I think. Yeah.
Can I give you one spoiler about James Harrison?
He's in the first season, right?
Yeah, he didn't make second season. They can't.
It said because he didn't want to follow the COVID restrictions or something.
Oh, right. Is that why? But then, okay.
Yeah, he mentioned it on. He mentioned it on Big Ben podcast. He was on there.
Will he be back? Will he be back for a third season? I hope so.
I don't know.
Man, okay, that makes sense then. That makes sense. All right. But yeah, I wish you luck, man, in the wrestling game and try and follow your career or whatever you do and stuff like that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
What's going to be your finisher? You reckon?
I probably have my finisher be like probably some type of inverted, like brain buster type style. I always like those moves like that.
Is that like a pedigree?
It's kind of like a lip. You ever see like a suplex?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that, but instead of lifting to like lay on the back, you lift almost like on the back of the shoulder, like neck area, kind of like a spike a little bit. You gotta do it right. If you mess up, you might get fired.
You can't do that in the NFL because Quan Alexander, I don't know if you heard of this too, Quan Alexander got fined $46,000 or something like that for his hit the other day. So
they fined him for that hit? Oh, man.
$46,709 from memory, something like that anyway.
Dang.
So yeah, it is pretty bad. It's really bad. All right, what else did we have happen today in the game? We had, of course, a lot of backup guys. We talked about Nick Herbig. I think he's a superstar. He's a steal.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on Patrick Peterson? He didn't play too much, though. Kind of got burnt a little bit on some plays. Any thoughts on Peterson?
I think he'd be all right throughout the season. But I like when the Steelers bring in like veterans. Like they had Joe Hayden. He was like at the end of his career, but he still made the Pro Bowl with us that one year. And he still was like pretty solid and was a good leader in the secondary as well. Yeah, I think Patrick Peterson had that same role, like around that.
Yeah, I think he played okay. Nothing too crazy. Where look, I'm not saying going to cut the guy because he let up a few passes, stuff like that. The same as Najee. I think limited reps and all those kind of things happened.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I think Peterson, it's just going through the motions of just playing, and I'm like, you got to play a full game, right, for those guys,
Yeah. I have high hopes for DeMarvin Leal too. I like Leal. Last year when he was playing, he was looking pretty good, and he got injured and he missed kind of a lot of games. But I was seeing on the field, he was playing pretty good in the run game, the rushing attack.
He played today as well. I think Leal played with Loudermilk again. I think those two are going to be the rotational guys with Benton. I think Armand Watts are trying to fight for the team to get in there. Montravius Adams played as well, so they're playing him a lot. So they might be carrying 6. But yeah, man, overall, I think it's been like there's just something. I don't know what it is. Maybe do you think it's the Kenny Pickett stuff that because he's a leader that the team is
he's more. See, I love Big Ben, but
I know
when Big Ben entered the league and Kenny entered the league, Kenny more mature than Big Ben.
I know.
He's more mature.
I say that too. I'm like, I love Big Ben. However, I like what Kenny's doing. I feel like
Kenny more mature. He like more responsible. You can trust him more as a leader. He take accountability for his bad play, and he show you you're gonna get back in the lab and work and train hard. And he just had that. He just have a good leadership aura around him.
There is something like that. I think when I saw him crack the beer on stage, and then everyone was like, "Oh, you can't drink beer." I was like, "No, it's only one beer, right?" So, but just means that I love Big Ben. Period. So do I. But I do think there's something a bit. Maybe it's because I'm doing more coverage on the team now when I was younger. But there's something different about Kenny Pickett and watching the story unfold again is kind of fun, right? It's a kind of fresh.
Yeah. Because Big Ben had a little big ego. He had a big ego. Big Ben had a big ego.
He still kind of does, really. I think,
Yeah.
there's a reason why he made a podcast, not just to do content, because he wants to be in the spotlight. You know what I'm saying? As much as he can.
Because he's very talented. It's just he one of those players who didn't really have to train. He's just talented. Just go out there and just.
But it was. I mean, I think it was fun watching Big Ben. The whole 17, 18 years of Big Ben. It's like wow. And here we are. We get to experience that again with another quarterback in Kenny Pickett. So
yep, it'll be cool.
Toddy says, "How gone is Kendrick Green?"
he might be gone tonight.
You reckon he's just cut? They're just like we can't wait 7 days. You got to cut you now.
Yeah,
he's just not working out, is he?
He probably found a spot on a different team. But I think with the Steelers, he might be done unless they just see something else in him. But opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity, and I don't know what happened.
It doesn't seem like he's getting the fundamentals down, like the plays down or the snap count, because that's twice now, 2 weeks in a row that he snapped the ball before it should have been snapped. Both times on Rudolph, so maybe he's trying to throw Rudolph under the bus. Maybe he doesn't like it. So,
it's his fault. It's his fault.
Yeah, he told me. He whispered to me. So I don't know, man. I think he might be cut, and they'll probably bring someone else in. There was a few penalties. I think Spencer Anderson had one penalty against him, but he can learn from that. But backup center is probably, a focal point they got to figure out, right?
Yeah, because sometimes linemen, they get injured more often than usual, most of the time. Or like leg injuries, like you get a guy thrown into your legs when you're blocking, and that usually happens all the time. So we probably need to get some more depth behind the center for sure.
There's still a chance too that they're like, when they cut all these players, that the Steelers might go to another team. To be honest, they can go to another team to get receivers or whoever, right? But I feel like there's a chance that backup center needs to be taken care of, or somehow, some way. Peace Frog says, "How do we feel about the O-line compared to last year?"
Oh, the O-line this year feels way better. You feel safer. Like you're like, oh, last year you was like scared you might get injured. Now you feel safer. You be like, I can go out there and do a play action pass. Last year you can do that. You do play action. You have a guy right there, 3 guys, quarterback out for the season.
The one bloke hasn't been talked about a lot is James Daniels. We haven't heard his name because he's playing good. And Trick's the same guy, always plays the way Trick does. And Dan Moore's gotten better. I think Dan Moore starts over Jones. I just think he does. Ciamalo had the really good block and he cut off the player, and then Jalen Warren went right through.
Right through the gap.
Yeah, man. So they're doing well. Blackjack Novak says, Mark, they showed you on TV. How good was that? I was on TV. Famous, man. I was really, because I saw Devin.
You screenshot it?
Nah, I was too busy yelling at the TV. Man, my neighbor's gonna hate me this year. I tell you what, I'm probably get police called on me. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not. I live like in a local strata. Their house is next to me and stuff, and you can hear them working and stuff. So I would not be surprised if they get a knock on the door and saying, "Hey, open up." That'd
be a video title. It'd be like, "Arrested for the Steelers."
You can't take me, mate. Isn't there a guy doing that? Is there a guy on YouTube that says any last words? He's like, "Steelers going Super Bowl."
Oh yeah, the dude. I remember that. The old video.
He's like, "Any last words, mate?" It's like, "Yeah,
we're going to Super Bowl."
We're going to Super Bowl. That's fantastic. I'll do that. Man, we might keep it short today, guys. It's because we've had a big live and stuff like that. But any last questions? Bring them in, and we'll start to wrap this thing up. It's been fun though, dude.
Yeah.
Do you think we will be running this year? I think so. What do you reckon? More run game?
Oh yeah, for sure. Running the football. That's the formula to win a Super Bowl. We've done it 6 times to win a Super Bowl. Running the football and getting to the quarterback. That's what they got to do.
And if we have Herbig and Marcus Golden backing up TJ Watt and Highsmith, and they're those downs, and you can implement them, I feel like pretty much every snap I've seen of Herbig is like he's really getting to the quarterback. He's so close every time.
He's relentless. He don't give up. Like he you see plays where he's just get pushed off the way, and he just still coming in there fighting and trying to make a play to the whistle. He playing to the whistle.
Yeah. And that's what is he? What was he? A fourth round pick or 5th rounder?
I think so. I think it was 4th. Was he 4th? Yeah, I think it was 4th. Yeah,
not bad.
It was Broderick, JPJ. I think Bennett. He might have been 3rd or 4th. Around
I think it's 3rd. I think Darnell was 3rd. Is he 5th round? In the chat, let me know. Was he a 5th round? I think he might have been a 5th rounder.
Yeah.
Oh, I heard about this too. What do you guys think about the who let him go? He played for the Browns and someone else let him go. Greedy Williams was now
Greedy Williams, the safety?
Yeah. He got cut from somewhere.
Again?
I don't know where, yeah. I don't know where he was cut from.
See, Greedy, he was from LSU, I think. It was LSU on DB. He had potential.
But he played for the Browns and then he played for the Eagles. Eagles cut him.
The Eagles cut him. The Eagles got a lot of depth, so they probably need him over there if he wasn't performing too well.
How do you think that goes as a player? You're just playing for the Eagles. You're just doing all your work you can do. Next minute, it's go, no, we don't need you, mate. Just go.
Sometimes you probably know. I think some players like that. In one podcast, I think it was Darren Bates. He's like he's kind of like a solid player here and there on his podcast. And he be saying like, certain guys would get cut. He said the coaches stopped calling their name. They wouldn't worry about this. They stopped like even mentioning them in the locker room or anything. You like, oh yeah, he about to get cut.
But do the players get paid weekly? Like, do you know what I mean? They get paid weekly until they get cut, or do they not get all their money? Or
it might be. Money? I think sometimes they get a certain amount guaranteed. It might be a low amount guaranteed initially, but I think they might get. I don't know actually, because some of those contracts be like little short deals. It'd be like just for like a month or two.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know if it's like if they're getting paid weekly and they're like, well, if we cut you now, then they get a guaranteed amount of money, or how that works. I don't know. But it seems like the guys on the fringe like that. They're always getting cut, training camps, and all that kind of stuff. So it's insane. But we will get out of here in a minute. Toddy says my entire house is Steel's man cave. So not just a man cave, it's like the house. You walk in, it's like black and gold everywhere. But what are your final thoughts on this Steelers game today? I thought it was fantastic, man. I really did think it was great.
Amazing game. Well, I would say start to finish, but the fourth quarter, a little bad snaps. But besides that, they played a complete all three phases of football. They had some plays on special teams, on offense, of course, and on defense. The turnovers, going out there and just giving the quarterback all the trouble in the world. I think Barkley threw 3 picks. He fumbled the ball. He was just getting harassed out there.
Did he throw 3 picks?
He threw 3 picks, right? He threw one.
He did too.
At 37.
Oh, yeah.
That's probably kept them in. They picked Cal Allen in the fourth.
Hang on, 3. Oh, one to Joey Porter, one to Sullivan, and Riley got 1 too.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, in the back of the end zone.
I think Cole Holcomb had the tip up, and it bounced his hands.
They pretty much they told Buffalo that you know what you man, even Josh Allen struggled too, honestly.
Yeah.
What do you go? 7 for 10, 64, 0-0. You're Super Bowl champion, him, and then Barkley and Cole Allen. I didn't even know they changed quarterbacks.
He came in the fourth quarter. Yeah, I was like, is that Cal Allen from Washington?
Oh, yep. I didn't even know that. That's insane. On that note, guys, we might get out of here. So thank you, everyone, for coming in and saying hello. And thank you, Arsenal DB. I will try and link. You know what I'll try and do before we get out of here? Let's link your channel. So if you guys want to go over and sub to DB, how do I do this fast? But, man, that was I think from start to third quarter was pretty good to watch, honestly.
Yeah.
It was pretty fun to watch our team. And I think there's something really different about this team. Where are you, mate?
If we can average 26, 27 a game, the defense we have, that'd be improvement. That'd be like 13, 14 wins right there.
We will crown Matt Canada the king of Pittsburgh. I think
this could be his last year. It's a make or break season for him too.
Imagine if he went really well and they fired him. They're like, and everyone, they're like, why'd you fire Matt Canada? You told us to. The fans told us to. So, yeah, man. If you guys want to check out the Arsenal DB, this fella right here, awesome bloke, doing some good stuff over there. I think you're near 479 subs, something like that. We'll try and get you a few over there if you want to on replay too. So check this guy out. You've been fantastic. I got to play the winning music one more time as we get out of here. It's Champions Day.
Emotion.
That's how Trubisky plays in slow motion. All slow motion. And then Kendrick Green's like, all right, let's go snap. Let's go.
Yo, hey.
All right, guys. I'll see you later.